Now, when you don't like a singer, you don't buy tickets to their concert. But apparently, if you don't like a comedian, you buy a ticket and then you try to attack him. Take a look at what happened to Dave Chappelle in Los Angeles.
Make some noise for hip-hop history.
Now, Chappelle was attacked during a show. It's great that he wasn't hurt, but this is becoming way too common and accepted in society. First, Chris Rock, and now Dave Chappelle. And by the way, the suspect's only being charged with misdemeanors. And what's scary is the amount of people defending Will Smith and this new attacker because what the comedian said, quote, went too far. It's a literal assault on free speech in America. Now, this brings us to story number 6, no laughing matter. Joining us now, comedian and TikTok star Shawn Farash. And Shawn, there are so many different examples of comedians getting shouted down for their jokes. And now you see this physical violence also happening too, way too often. What are your thoughts on this? And as somebody who's a comedian yourself, does this make you second guess going out and performing?
Well, first thing I do, I perform in front of friendly people who respect the First Amendment. So I usually don't have these type of issues in the back of my head. But I think going forward, we're all going to have to think about it this way. And, it is a literal, as you just said, a literal assault on free speech. If I get up there and say something that someone doesn't like, now do they have the right? Do they have the precedent set that they can just run on the stage and try to stab me? Is that something that we're trying to make okay? And if that is something that we're trying to make okay, you got to think of the consequences downstream of that. Who's going to be attacked? Do you want to be attacked? Is that going to set the precedent that says that if you say something in public on a phone call with somebody that they overhear, that they can then attack you? I mean, so then there's just different levels of what this message is sending. And then to watch the district attorney of Los Angeles decide we're not charging this guy. I mean, or we're just going to charge him with misdemeanors and no felonies and take it easy on him. That just shows you where these Soros-backed district attorneys, like the one in Philadelphia, like the one in New York City, Alvin Bragg, it just shows you that safety and the rule of law, it's not number one priority for these people. And that's going to make society as a whole, for everybody, comedian, not a comedian, performer, not a performer, it's going to make society as a whole unsafe.
Yeah, and Dave Chappelle lives in Ohio. We'll see if he even wants to go back and perform in Los Angeles. But after the attack, Chris Rock, who was there that night, snagged the microphone for a quick joke. Here's what he said.
Was that Will Smith?
It's a funny joke. He's making light of his own slap from Will Smith. But let's be honest, the only thing that happened to Will Smith was getting banned from the Oscars for 10 years after winning an Oscar. Is this a sign that the left doesn't care about violence against people they disagree with? Because Chris Rock, Dave Chappelle, they could be politically incorrect, so they might anger some of those liberal elites in Hollywood.
I mean, sure, this could be a sign that the left is okay with violence, though, that they don't agree with. But we've seen that already. We know that they Maxine Waters encouraged people to push back and make sure that that Trump supporters felt like they're not welcome in society. We've seen this over and over. We've seen what happened with Steve Scalise and a Bernie Sanders supporter shooting at a congressional baseball practice, for that game. And Bernie came out and did denounce it, but. We see this happening a lot on the left, and all we hear about is January 6th, January 6th, January 6th. Well, there's a lot more that goes on in society beyond January 6th, like the Summer of Love, like the fact that a federal courthouse was firebombed in Portland, like the fact that Chaz and Chop were a thing, and to quote or to at least maybe sound like the greatest president ever, I think, quite frankly, it's a disgrace, and I think you should be ashamed of yourself if you're not going to take action. I think it's incredibly horrible, believe me.
Well, you have a great impression. We'll get to that in a moment, Shawn. But Chappelle's team, they put out a statement saying, quote, the performances by Chappelle were epic and record-breaking, and he refuses to allow last night's incident to overshadow the magic of this historic moment. So is this how comedians combat cancel culture, by ignoring it, or is there something that some of these top voices like Chappelle need to do?
Well, I think it would be good for these top voices to just come out and say it. If you keep threatening free speech, comedy will die. That's it. You know, a lot of the jokes that George Carlin, he's my favorite, a lot of the jokes that he made back in the day, he would get canceled for today. I mean, think about what he says about war and missiles and germs. Remember, he said that, you know, kids, they didn't get sick back in the day because they bathed in raw sewage. If they said that today, they would go, George Carlin's questioning science. And he's going against Fauci, and he's telling you to bathe in garbage. I mean, comedy dies without free speech. So that's what they need to say. It's a very simple line. If we keep attacking free speech, there will be no more laughter, because at the end of every joke, there's a victim. And if we have to make society a victimless place, then there are no more jokes. And then that hurts everybody.
Now, Shawn, let's hear your Trump impression, but talking about what comedy used to be like back in the day. Anything you've done in that regard about how comedians are different these days?
Well, sure. I think you could say that comedy used to be fantastic. When you look at Eddie Murphy, when you look at George Carlin, Andrew Dice Clay, you know, I call him the Dice Man. I've known him for a long time. But it used to be a wonderful thing. You could say anything you want, and now you can't say anything. You know, it comes down to it. If you say that the sky is falling water and you make a joke that it's raining cats and dogs, you know, Peter's going to be after you. If you say that you're going to build a snowman bigger than Rosie O'Donnell, they're going to say you're fat shaming. But in that case, you might be right. Believe me.
Shawn Farash, thank you so much for joining us. Appreciate that. You can check him out on TikTok, Twitter, all throughout social media.